Hello, Platinum God Games, back with another Skull and Bones tutorial. I'm a Ubisoft Partnered Creator and Twitch streamer, so check the description below for all my social links, including my Twitch channel and live times. Please also don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check the bell alert here on YouTube so you get notified when new tutorials and videos go live. The purpose of this series of videos, how to control forts, is exactly that. So I can show you my methods for learning how to make enemies spawn exactly where you want them to, what parts of the forts are the best to attack so you don't get damaged or sunk, how to best start and finish forts, possibly what parts not to attack also, and to help you finish forts in the most efficient way possible to avoid scenes like this one, where the enemies spawn behind islands and you either have to move or wait great deals of time for them to reveal themselves. So buckle up, this one's Fort Premie. However, this is a different Fort Premie plunder. This is an alternative method just in case you don't happen to have a level 6 rank 13 Garuda. You can use this method with any particular ship build that you like, provided you follow these simple steps. Now I'm going to take you through it as best I can. We had some server delay that day. I actually got jumped by Dirk Ankeren before hitting the fort. Now I like to mark out some of the walls, it's not entirely necessary. I like to look at the ships around because they will become part of the plunder if they are within the arena, and there's grenadiers that you need to look out for. They're the ones that drop mortars on you and they can flood you very quickly. There's a grenadier right there, he's circling around behind me. Now this method, you can either start at the back and destroy the back shotgun wall, which when there's server delay will not trigger the plunder on most occasions and you have to sail around the front anyway. So I like to move to the edge of the fort so that the interact and plunder prompts are still on the screen, and then I want to face the direction of the wind. That's why I'm on the left hand side of the fort this time. I want to face away so that the wind is with me. I have a tailwind because I'm going to want to run as soon as I hold that plunder button down to trigger the plunder. And here we go. Now I want to get out of there as quickly as possible. We've got a ship count up on the top of the screen already. So this focus with this particular method is primarily about destroying the ships. Now my number one recommendation is do not sail anywhere at full speed. You must only use one sail. If you go everywhere at full speed, the fort will line you up with those big reticles on the water and those mortars will hammer you. Same with these grenadier ships as well. Now we're okay, we're not flooding yet. Take out the nearby ships and you'll notice that I'm ignoring the walls. You don't need to destroy the fort. Now in season 1 and 2, this was the only real method you had until you actually had a level 13 ship. I keep saying level, I mean rank. I mean a level 6 upgrade rank 13 ship, which means the best weapons, armor and furniture and a completely upgraded vessel. Now there's 2 towers out the back that will shoot cannonballs at you periodically. You can destroy them if you wish. I'm in the sharpshooter so I can take care of them at distance with ease. Now the other thing that we will work on is removing that rear shotgun wall so that you can actually move around in more of the area behind the fort. Let's take out this second wall slash tower here. There we go. Now I focus on that center wall because that shotgun wall, as I call them, is a wall of cannons and it will chew you up and spit you out very quickly. So to broaden the area that you can sail in, you need to get rid of that wall. If you stay above 350-400 meters, it won't shoot at you. It has a limited range. Now only the left mortar wall will become disabled. That right one that you see there and the one at the front of the fort, never disable. So you can't shoot them and fill up the status icon so that they won't shoot for a while. They are unable to be disabled. Now focus on the ships with this particular method. Interestingly, this method and my fort wall destruction method take about exactly the same time. The difference is, I think I can do the wall destruction much quicker. I'm destroying all the walls of the fort basically, with the exception of one shotgun wall. Now you see we've got two other ships we need to take care of because that other broadsider hadn't entered the arena yet. Now this may take you a little longer in a different build, right? Say for example you come in a Padawakang or you come in a Bark, whatever, and you can't destroy the ships as quickly as I'm destroying them. That's fine, it doesn't matter. As long as you remember the golden rule of sailing around at only one sail. That is the most profound trick that I can teach you about doing Fort Premie, and including Megafort Oosten. Now I decide that I'm going to shoot this wall. As I said, you can disable that one, that mortar tower, but you don't need to. And you see I drop what I'm doing to take out the ships immediately. And we're going to have a drink here and go as fast as we can. Probably going to get a bit of hit here. Yeah, I thought as much, a little bit of damage, but that's not bad. We're not flooded. Get rid of that grenadier. When the pairs of ships come out and the trios of ships, if you see two large ships and a small ship, the one on the right or at the back is usually the grenadier. So what happens is you shoot the ships at the front, and as they're slowly sinking with their sails in the air, that grenadier is protected by the sails and every one of your shots will just get gobbled up. Now, the fort also won't progress until you destroy the wall. And if it does, it has a really, really slow timer. Because all forts are time-based and enemy-based. There you go. You can see on the right, it was the grenadier. They will cause quite a bit of flooding status damage to you over time. If they get you with all four of those, you will be flooded and you will start taking severe damage. And eventually, unless you have the armor or a Boris, you will, or a Bark ship, you will start dying. See, it's the one on the right that should be the grenadier. Now, the difference between the grenadiers and the broadsider ships, the broadsiders have that big box up near the back. The grenadiers have their weak point in a large box right at the front of the ship. And it's actually quite hard to hit. If they're side on to you, you can miss. And if they're sailing towards you and you're shooting right at them, you can hit the bowsprit, or you can have a severely cut off angle and only a small margin of error. Now, I'm showing you the back of the fort here to show you that in between these two towers, if you sail any further than that, the plunder will end. I don't mean, you know, like the timer. I mean, if you go out of that area, the plunder will end instantly. Now, Dirk Ankeren again, if you do not have a ship powerful enough to take him out, it's going to take you some time. If you actually have a ship that's quite weak and you don't think you're going to be able to destroy him before the level 16 ships come out in the final phase, I highly recommend starting to do slow laps around the fort. If you get on the opposite side of the fort from him, he can actually lose you, and he occasionally will leave. Other times he'll just sail back around after you. But what you can do is then buy your time in order to just get away from him, and when the level 16s come out, you destroy them, and you make sure that you're at the front of the fort by the time the actual timer runs out. So when you reach the final phase completion, and if you're doing this for helm contracts, which I assume most of you will be, 9 out of 10 times you will be encumbered unless you're in a snow or a large ship. If you have 2 to 3 contracts on you, you will be absolutely full in your cargo when this fort is finished. And sailing away from 2 level 16s and Dirk Ankeren may not happen. Now, the biggest fear when doing it this way is that you will get sunk. Now, if you've had 2 or 3 contracts on you and you get sunk, you cannot retrieve all of your cargo in one go. You must make several trips. When the game dumps, for example, 3 contracts worth of helm wares on you, raw helm materials I should say, you will be 2 times and 3 times overweight, and unfortunately you're going to leave those on the water. You will have to go back to Necropolis or to Forgotten Candy and repair your ship and take whatever you can fit in the ship again, and then sail back, mark it and sail back. Alright, now we're about to hit the final phase, so we are looking out the back in the hopes that the level 16s will spawn in front of us. Now remember, there is server lag. There they go, so they are basically in front of us. Take out the sharpshooter. He usually only takes 1 good shot and a mortar with this particular build, and then start sailing away towards the front before destroying the level 16 grenadier. Also, we want to get some distance on the guy. Anything under 600 meters, he'll start launching on you. Just the same as most mortars, unless you have special furniture on. So I want to be at the front so that when my 3 contracts are awarded to me upon completion of this plunder, I've got a shorter distance and I don't have to slowly make my way around to the front of the fort. Once the fort is destroyed, all the walls, once the fort is completed, all the walls are destroyed anyway. But there you have it. That is the alternative method for Fort Premie, and now you've got the awful slow sail back to Necropolis. Thankfully we've got a tailwind. So I hope you found the video helpful. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments below. Is there anything in the game you'd like to see a tutorial on? Again, let me know in the comments. I also stream live on Twitch. Check the description below for live times. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check the bell alert so you know when new videos go live. I'm Platinum God Games. Until next time, game like a god.